You're watching Samuel Goodwin on YouTube, and this has been kind of a busy week for me. A lot of work to do, but also working on a lot of things. So I thought I would just run through some of the fun stuff I've been working on. Generally, my strategy with any of these kinds of things is that I have the new thing that I'm trying to learn, but also the things that I can do, but can't do very consistently yet. And I try to make sure I work on those until they're mostly consistent at least. So for Balisong, the new thing is this trick called the flying saucer, where you need the knife to go around all of your knuckles. It's sort of difficult, and I've managed to land it sometimes, but not very cleanly. So we're working on cleaning that up. So also working on this trick, the Y3K, which I technically learned some weeks ago, but I landed it a few times and basically can't do it since then. So I work on that a bit too whenever I take it out. With the yo-yo, I actually learned a few things this week. I learned the negative hook, which is sort of the opposite direction of the hitomasa hook. So instead of swinging the string below your finger to go around and hook onto the yo-yo, you go over your finger. Previously, I had looked into this trick shortly after learning the first hook, and I thought, oh, let's learn the negative hook. But I was really confused at the time, and it did not go very well. But now I've learned some things. I'm better at yo-yo in general. I understand what I'm looking at a little better. So I went back to it, and it was actually doable, and I landed it within, I don't know, half an hour of trying to do it. I'm sure it doesn't look quite as nice as it should, but I can do it some of the time, and that's a good start. I also just figured out 1.5 hooks. Literally last night, I was thinking, and I thought, well, if I can do the regular hook and I can do the negative hook, maybe the 1.5 hook is not so bad, where instead of going around one finger and hooking onto the yo-yo, you needed to go around one finger and then the other finger and then hook onto the yo-yo, which is tricky because the hand that is doing the whipping of the string needs to also be the hand that the string goes around. But I managed to land a few, and now we got to get that to where we can do that a little more reliably. I also recently worked out this combo that is supposed to be a speed combo, and I can do it, but I can't quite do it smooth enough to really do it as fast as you see people do it. So that's one that we just need to keep working on, get smoother. It's already way more smooth than the first couple times I landed it, and we'll get better at that so I can maybe eventually actually do some speed comboing. I also have some bits of tricks like wrist, 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 the very last part, and a trick called sushi time, which I just haven't quite figured out exactly what's supposed to happen at all so that I can finish the trick. So I work on those and try to see if I can get closer, give it some tries, see if I can understand what needs to happen. With the skateboard, I put out a challenge to everyone in the area that if they can teach me to kickflip, I will pay them 100 euros. And so far, no one has taken me up on the offer, but I figure I should at least be doing some prep work so I can be ready when someone does come. If you think you can teach me and you live anywhere near here, definitely let me know. I can ollie. You've seen videos where I ollie onto things, and I recently learned how to make my ollie a little bit better, so I've been working on that, getting used to it, just doing it enough that it becomes sort of a reflex. I don't have to think about it so much. Because I think that was my problem when it came to struggling to get on top of certain things, even if I could technically jump high enough to do it, is just that once there's an obstacle there, you're thinking about that, and now you have trouble also thinking about the steps to doing the ollie and getting the board off the ground, and doing all of that at once is too many things. So if the board part can be sort of a reflex, then it should be much easier to get on and off things. I've also gotten way more consistent with shove-its recently, where before I could do one in like a month of trying, and now I can do one in about 5 or 10 minutes of trying. In that case, I understand what needs to happen, but there's still that part of me that does not want to commit to putting both feet on the board. So you have to jump to where the board is going to be, and if something goes wrong, then you're gonna find out. I'm getting better at it though. It's starting to make sense, and I think we can get that to be a more reliable thing. I've also gotten to where I can do frontside ollies. It's not very consistent at all. It's maybe one in, 30 minutes worth of trying at this point, but I'm working on it. We're gonna get that down. It's nice to take a break and rest. Resting is important. And while I'm resting, sometimes it's fun to sit here and play with these where it doesn't take that much exertion and you don't need to be standing up or anywhere special. You can kind of just be wherever you happen to be sitting while you're watching TV or something. I just kind of go through the things that I know how to do and try to maybe string them together and just keep the thing moving. I managed to get 8 of those rolling stops in a row, which previously I could only do about 2, so that's good progress. I still don't know how to get that more consistent, but I'm working on it. I've also started working on bead rolls, where if it starts here, as it's wrapping around, you want to transfer it from up here to down here on these 2 fingers, and then also to be able to go backwards and back up. I find going back up is a little bit easier and going down is extra challenging. I can do it sometimes, but it's not very consistent and you have to really be paying attention for that. So I work on those when I have the energy to do so. And that's what I've been working on. If there's anything in particular you'd like to see, if there's an explanation of something you'd like to see because you're struggling with it too, let me know in the comments. Maybe that can be a future video. Or when I get any of this stuff working, then you'll see some of that. And for now, just take care of yourself this weekend. Go outside, get some water, get some sun on your face, do a little exercise or something. Go for a walk at least. And we'll be back next week.